I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Elon Musk should never be able to donate a single penny to any political campaign ever again. We have some breaking news that more people need to be talking about because it turns out Elon Musk and his Doge goons seem to have been the one committing the fraud that they were talking about this entire time. A new court filing alleges that 2 Doge personnel who were overseen by Elon Musk at the time were siphoning data from the SSA, from the Social Security Administration, and then giving that data to a voter advocacy group that claims the election was rigged from Trump and was looking to match voter data rolls in order to flip their election results back. This is some insane fraud coming from the organization that was meant to detect some sort of fraud. Elon Musk has been saying that immigrants and Somalians and any sort of minority is committing the fraud in the United States, but he needs to look in an effing mirror because he is the one who not only had 120 days of unfettered executive power and recommended 0 people to the FBI for fraud, recommended 0 people to the DOJ for fraud, but he is also the one who seems to be committing a massive amount of fraud himself. I mean, just think about the point that I just made. Elon was given all of this power to be in the White House and to investigate whoever he wants. With no holds barred, he could get into any data he wants. He claimed that there was $2 trillion in fraud he was supposed to find, yet after 120 days, again, he recommended 0 people for fraud. So if you just take his logic that there's $2 trillion in fraud, wouldn't you think that somebody would have to be perpetrating that? Or is it just nameless, faceless fraud that he can continuously attack because he would rather pin it on immigrants or some nefarious deep state? Either way, Elon Musk is now the one who is under the limelight for this exact type of thing. Let me just point out, it's difficult to overstate how profound of a failure Doge was. Spending in fiscal year 2025 was not only more than 2024, but it was higher than it was projected to be when Trump took office. So the little bit of spending that Doge cut killed hundreds of thousands of people in the form of USAID being slashed, will eventually kill millions, and ended up saving $0 for anybody whatsoever. To continue, this is the top 40 savings claims from Doge. It stacks up their highest claims of savings. So up here, they claim they've saved $4 billion, $3.8 billion, $3.6 billion, and then it goes on. But all of the red bars are inaccurate claims that are either false, completely made up, wrong, overstated, contracts that had already expired years ago. So the point I'm making here is Doge was such a failure. They've rooted out no fraud and only helped Elon Musk consolidate power while he was high on ketamine. Again, Elon Musk should be banned from contributing to any political campaign for the rest of his time in the United States. Honestly, if Elon Musk refuses to assimilate into the United States, he should be deported at some point. I can't tell you how many times I have heard right-wing conservatives say, I don't want immigrants coming over here and telling us how to run our country. I don't want immigrants coming over here and trying to spread their ideas into our cultural zeitgeist. This is our country. Well, dude, maybe I feel that way about Elon Musk. Maybe I want Elon Musk to assimilate into the United States a little bit more before he starts spreading these batshit insane ideas. Elon Musk literally wants to strip away the free speech of Americans. He wants to strip away the right for Americans to vote. He wants to tell us how to run our country, yet he hasn't assimilated whatsoever. Maybe I think that Elon Musk should assimilate or be deported. Maybe I want to take that position when it comes to Elon Musk. Now, obviously, that's not something I believe broadly whatsoever, but when it comes to Elon Musk, I am sick of him coming from another country and then telling us how to run our country and getting it wrong over and over and over. For example, Elon Musk has been spending the past year undermining U.S. elections on Twitter. Over and over, just undermining U.S. elections, saying that democracy is a lie, U.S. elections are rigged, there's no point in voting. He just posted, literally yesterday, on January 19th, he said, without voter ID, democracy is a lie. And he's boosting Donald Trump, who says rigged elections are common in the U.S. You want to talk about rigged elections? What about the 2 Doge personnel who were stealing Social Security data in order to give it to an organization that wanted to flip results? Okay, we'll get there. Elon Musk then tweeted out, America will die without secure elections. I'm going to facepalm so hard at these people. He's quote tweeting Rick Scott, Rick Scott literally had the largest Medicaid fraud scheme in all of Florida history, maybe even American history, and he still ran a successful campaign as a Republican. They continually say that they want to root out waste, fraud, and abuse, yet they are totally fine with waste, fraud, and abuse coming from Wall Street, coming from like Bernie Madoff types. Trump would literally pardon Bernie Madoff if he were still alive. Elon Musk quote tweets Rick Scott, and then says America will die without secure elections. Elon, stop meddling in our elections. How many times do we have to say it? Then Trump on the midterm says, when you think of it, we shouldn't even have an election. The picture I'm trying to paint here is a bunch of right-wing populist tools trying to undermine U.S. elections while they are secretly taking steps to get voter data so they themselves can rig the elections in the aforementioned way. I mean, Donald Trump then went on stage just an hour ago and says it was a rigged election. Everybody knows that now. By the way, numbers are coming out showing it more plainly. We caught them. We caught them. He is going on deranged, lunatic rants claiming that Democrats rigged the elections when Elon Musk is the one rigging it. Kyle Cheney broke the news. The Social Security Administration has referred 2 DOGE employees for Hatch Act violations after discovering contacts with a political group seeking SSA data to overturn election results. Let me break this down via the Political article because this is some insane stuff. Some DOGE personnel had more access to data than previously acknowledged, according to a court filing, and they were using this data exactly how he said they would. Listen to this. 2 members of Elon Musk's DOGE team working at the SSA, the Social Security Administration, were secretly in touch with an advocacy group seeking to, quote, overturn election results in certain states. And one even signed an agreement that may have involved using Social Security data to match state voter rolls, the Justice Department revealed in newly disclosed papers. Elizabeth Shapiro, a top DOJ official, said the SSA referred 2 DOGE employees for violations of the Hatch Act, potentially, which bars government employees from using their official positions for political purposes. Shapiro's previously unreported disclosure, dated Friday, came as a part of the list of corrections to testimony by top SSA officials during last year's legal battle over DOGE's access to Social Security data. They revealed that DOGE team members shared data on unapproved third-party servers and may have accessed private information that had been ruled off limits by a court at the time. Listen, I don't care if you are a Democrat or a Republican in this situation. You should be able to agree with a very fundamental fact. Americans should have the right to privacy. It is in the Constitution that Americans have privacy, the right to privacy. We should have the right to have personal data not being sifted through by a billionaire who bought his way into the White House. Elon Musk spent $290 million to get into the White House in the first place. Then he spent $44 billion to buy Twitter, rebrand Twitter into X, and turn it into a propaganda machine. He literally spent billions of dollars, not for no return, not for nothing, because he thinks in his businessman mind that he is going to get a return on his investment. That return comes in the form of your voter data, of your Social Security data, of the data that you are supposed to have privately. Quote, SSA believed those statements to be accurate at the time they were made, and they are largely still accurate. Shapiro also revealed that Steve Davis, a senior advisor to Musk and DOGE's team, was copied on a March 3rd, 2025 email that included a password-protected file containing private information of about 1,000 people contained in Social Security systems. It's unclear, she said, whether Davis ever accessed the file, and Shapiro said current SSA employees have been unable to access the file to determine precisely what it contained. Now, the SSA stands by its claim that DOGE, quote, never had access to SSA systems of record, but it's possible that some of this restricted data was derived from the Social Security system. So at the end of the day, the people talking about fraud are going to be the ones most likely to perpetuate fraud. I am okay with minimizing fraud. If you want to investigate something that you think is fraud, that is fine. For example, the stuff over in Minnesota was actually investigated back in 2023, and people were prosecuted. The main lady was Amy Block, this white woman, and then there were some Somalians involved too, but this entire racist campaign to blame fraud on Somalians or immigrants or anybody who is in a vulnerable position is a very clear ploy from Elon Musk to divide and conquer while he is likely committing fraud himself. Again, the richest man on the planet should not be meddling in our elections. If Elon Musk doesn't want to have a say in our elections. He should assimilate into the damn country and be pro-democracy. I'm going to leave it there. I love you all, and peace out.